Hello there. So yeah, another new spot. Yeah, I decided to try here. Seems like there's less wind. Wind is coming from the south to the north, and I'm facing north with a big house behind me, and it seems to be not as windy. Wonderful. Yeah, I just wanted to jump on and do another video. Day six, day 6 of my 21-day challenge towards myself, posting every day, and yesterday was a heavy posting. I feel like diving into a deep topic. If you didn't watch it, it's okay. Watch it if you like. It's about weight and weight loss, and just sharing my perspective on healthy eating and all the other jazz in between. So yeah, today was I had the intention to jump on and do a video on patience. And I was hemming and hawing, and I said I'd just kind of free roll with it and just jump on and talk a bit about patience, and if it goes into something else, just let whatever flows out and let it flow. But yeah, patience. In regards, patience is patience, but I will say, being in Sri Lanka, it will really teach you patience. Just multiply everything by 3. If they say I'll be there in 3 minutes, it could be there in 9 minutes, or 3 hours, or just not at all really. You go to the shop for I don't know, maybe some rice, some just 1 or 2 things, and you could be in there for 20 minutes just getting like 1 or 2 things. And it's just the way it is. It's like teaches you patience. And then in regards, on personal journey, like the difference between modern life, everything's like boom, 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 access to it. Especially after COVID, when we had this revamping online shopping, you just click and it's there, and people are so antsy and expect things to happen like that, and that can happen in our personal journeys where we envision something. And this is a layer for me. I've gone through, I have this idea, this vision. I'm like, I want to make it happen now. And, oh, that's a win here. But it's not the truth. There's a term, I mentioned this yesterday, hemming. In Sinhala, hemming. Slowly. And for me, my personal journey of development and healing is like, I've gone through layers of the same beliefs, the same patterns, and trauma, and healing, developing, undoing limiting beliefs, undoing the past takes time. It takes devotion, consistency, but time, patience with yourself. Here in Sri Lanka, you have to have patience with just pretty much everything and anything. It's a funny place, like Sri Lanka in that way. It's just a little example about like Sri Lankan numbers and patience, and just as myself and my friend were getting loads of arts and craftsy stuff here in a shop. It was like what you'd classify in Ireland as a Euro shop, or what we used to call a pound shop. Just bits and bobs, bit of everything, And we went in there to get like stuff for turning waste into art, or a resource, or a product that we could use in the kitchen or in the garden or whatever it may be. We were in there, and he seen Pokemon cards, and 2 of the guys here are big into Pokemon. He's like, "Oh, I get a pack for Nikki and Curtis." I was like, "Cool." So yeah, we came back with all the stuff. It was later. We were all sitting down eating, and we all shared the cards around. It turns out it says, it's a pack of 10, but there's 8 cards. I was like, it's a Sri Lankan 10. That's how it works. Yeah, the pack said 10, but it only had 8. A Sri Lankan 10. Yeah, honestly, patience with yourself, to take time for yourself and be patient in this, like, It's easy here. It's easy. I've a lot of people have come and gone over this last couple of weeks and even months. Have been in Asia and through a lot of Asian countries, but we're here and time really slows down here where I am. It's been so wonderful. People go into back to Germany, France, Spain, wherever, man, and back into that modern illusion of now, 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 now. People want the quick fix, the quick diet, the quick this, the quick everything. Nothing happens quickly in nature unless it's devastation and disaster. But all the things that take, all the beautiful things, all that growth, all that growing, emerging, and transformation, it takes time. It really does. It takes time. And that takes, the taking of time takes patience. That it does. So yeah, and as I said, I've always been with someone that's, I've had to find a lot of patience for myself being here. I've been in a lot of jobs, been a mechanic, building, just all the different variations of jobs that I've done that have been about performance and getting the job done, because there's money behind that, and there's all the other jazz, and there's a next truck to come in, or next job. And that's the other side, is like, we don't really, we're caught up in time in the modern illusion, I've been trying to implement and integrate energy over time. So, if you're doing a task, a project, whatever it is you may do, it's like if you give 100% time, but you're only putting 40 to 50% energy in, you're wasting 50% of your time there. Which is the modern world. 9 to 5, be there for that whole time, but you might only give 50%. So what I've been trying to integrate is like every time I sit down, when there's 20 minutes, a half an hour, or whatever project I'm doing, try to give it 100%, between 80 and 100%. And I notice if I'm dropping off, it's time to go for walks, time to stretch, time to move, time to meditate, time to go have some fun, or even just switch up tasks to different, change the intellectual vibration of what you're working at. Yeah, and be more energy conscious. It's like even with a friend. If you're family, friends, anybody. If you're spending time with your partner and it's a lot. I think a lot of people make that mistake. They see time as there's that's I've spent time with you. But like if you're there and you're on your phone, you're on 25% there. You're not spending time with someone. If you spend 20 minutes, 30 minutes fully devoted to listening to that person and taking in exactly what they said, and then having an interlinked conversation with them, connected conversation with them, they'll value that far more than you just sitting there on your phone, and it takes a bit of consciousness to be aware of, that as well. Especially with kids, they want 100% of your energy. They don't want your time. They don't understand time. They want you to be engaged with them. And really, as we get older, we're no different. I know for sure when people are with me, I know I'd like them for it to be. I'd like them for it to be. Wow, I'd like them to be engaged with me. Unless they're not in the place, sometimes we're going through our own heaviness and all that jazz, and we're lost in our mind, and that's why the breath is a great one for me. When the mind starts to wander in conversation, or start to think about, what can I say next, or how can I reply, or I want to say this. And it's like, no, I'm giving you my energy, I'm giving you my time and energy, and listening and taking in what you have to say. So active listening is actually listening, not just thinking about what you want to say or thinking about what they have said or something in the future. It's actually being completely present and taking in their words and can go a step further and look at their body language. Is their body language matching their conscious conversation? Because the body is more interlinked with the subconscious. Like, so are they saying one thing but the body saying another? Is their subconscious talking? And you can be a friend and say, hey, bro, or hey, when you said this, you shut off a little bit. You sure that's how you feel about it, or you want to talk deeper about that topic or explore it a little bit more. And maybe you're bringing awareness to someone that they consciously think they're okay with that subject or scenario, but really their body's holding on to something in their subconscious. And so yeah, that's what a true friend for me has been. It's like, I think, is the greatest gift you can give anyone is your presence, and presence means giving energy. It's not time. It is time, but not just time. It's energy and time. So yeah, patience. And also, like when we're in, for me, patience, like, it's not just for one thing. It's patience with yourself, patience with others, patience with just life in general. Um, and the heaviness of our negative, our drops and our lows, we can be like, I want this to change. I want to get back to feeling good. How do I change this? Sometimes it's about being patient and being present in our lows, and that's when that positive affirmation and allowing, accepting, and letting go of it, and try to clear our energy and give space to our authentic self and give presence to our inner child. So, yeah, there's a lot to presence, and patience. Oh yeah, there's a lot to patience. Yeah. So yeah, I think I'm gonna leave it at that. It's a nice little video about a few bits and bobs, the bits and the bobs and the bobs and the bits. I also wanted to say, being Irish, I've actually really practiced on. I've had to in traveling. A lot of people doesn't understand the Hiberno-English, the Irish English. So yeah, if there's something I ever say and you don't understand, drop me an old comment or message going, what are you talking about, son? What are you talking about? Yeah, I've definitely learned how to speak more clearer and reduce my Irish twang and accent, and try not to fall into the Irish slang and the Irish, even though that is a part of who I am. So that's the crack, what can you do about it? Only put the shoe on, hopefully it fits. So yeah, that's love, that's gratitude, and we'll be back tomorrow. Boom.